feeling? Hey friends, it's Rish.
That's your mom.
And we're back with another video. We haven't had a sit down video with you guys in a while, and we've been getting a lot of questions, and so I want to answer some stuff. So basically what this video is going to be about is our housing situation. And I think a lot of you guys have been like kind of concerned, like, damn, why y'all keep bouncing around from place to place to place? And so we just want to talk about the whole process of like finding housing here and all that good stuff. And we're also going to just give you guys like a quick like lowdown on the 3 places that we have stayed the longest since being here. So
I first want to add, like, it's very similar to the aspect of when you move to any other place in the US, right? So you pick a place, you say, I'm gonna live in Atlanta, I'm gonna live in New York, I'm gonna live in LA. Like, you go there and then you find the place you want to stay. And a lot of the times, especially if, you know, some people don't do like the true thorough like apartment shopping. They just get there, see a place they can afford, and just hop into it.
yeah.
Unfortunately, when you move to an entirely different country, it's not that easy. It can be that easy, but we learn that you miss out on like little things that you didn't know were so important.
Yeah, like even for us, like honestly, we both moved to Atlanta when we first moved to Georgia, but now we from that point we went to Clayton County because Atlanta's too much traffic.
Too much traffic, super expensive,
yeah.
Parking is terrible.
It's natural to change your mind as you live in a place and as you realize what you want and what you don't want. So I want to first talk about the place in Polygono because that was our first spot, the biggest one. The biggest when we first got here the second time with the kids. We stayed in that really big space, the one with the small balcony, boo. The biggest.
Oh, we first.
So that place was really nice. I personally loved it. I thought it was huge. It had a den, you know, with a bed in there, and obviously I'm gonna insert clips. Yeah.
Like you walk out, boom, you fall over the edge.
But the living room was really big.
Yes.
I really enjoyed
it.
that.
It also had a day room. I'm sorry, I don't mean something.
No, it's fine, baby. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say it also had a day room attached to it as well, with
yeah.
a day bed and like a desk, and it was kind of an unofficial 3rd bedroom.
Yeah.
But it can definitely.
It was more of our office space. I painted in there. He worked in there, and then if the kids needed to take a nap, but they needed to be like under adult supervision, like Luna, because she was rolling and stuff. It was a perfect situation. He could work and watch her while I had time to myself, like all those things. The issue with that place was everyone continued to tell us that we were paying too much, and so. Gentrification is a huge valid worry when it comes to migration, especially Americans moving elsewhere because our dollar is worth so much. So when you go to a place, you are gonna spend a little bit more than the people here. Spending a little bit more, I feel like, is appropriate. Spending an exorbitant amount, hundreds of dollars more than other people living in that same area is not okay, and I think that it warrants moving. And so when we were going to extend our stay there and look into long-term renting of that place, but when we heard from the Greeks here, like, girl, you paying too much, or y'all doing too much, it's our job to then take that information and move accordingly. You know, we're not trying to price nobody out. That means that somebody else in that neighborhood who's actually from here can get the local price. And so even though the space was owned by an artist and there were so many things that I absolutely loved, we knew we could find a place that's similar that also had other things, because the balcony was also a huge a negative for us. We really like a balcony. Like, we like for the girls to be able to go out and run and play while we're doing whatever. We like to go sit out there and have breakfast, lunch, whatever, and we all, as a family of 4, could not sit out there comfortably together. So that was another negative.
And then leading on to, that was kind of really the only negative.
Yeah, that was, and there was no elevator, but that also is not a huge thing for us. We don't mind walking up the stairs. Now we know better. We know we can leave the wagon downstairs because nobody is about to.
Well, we didn't even have the wagon yet. We just had.
Yeah, we had the double shoulder. But I'm saying even our big shoulder situation, we didn't really have to
drag it up. We
didn't have to do that. We just did that because we didn't know any better. But now we know. And so yeah, so those are the 2 negatives, like the price point and the balcony.
Second place, price was
amazing. I think we paid $6 to get in there, and then $4 the following month. And
however,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's really get into it.
This place, I actually went there first. Reed picked it out. Wasn't far from our where we were currently staying in Polygono, and I took a taxi there. Looked around, you know, got a quick little tour, thought it was nice. Like, yeah, it's a little
At
smaller.
first glance, we loved it. Like, we thought, oh, it's modern. You know, there's 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms?
It was 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms.
Big beds.
Yeah, big beds. Big nice rooms. Y'all know
just
that.
the rooms though.
Yeah, just the room.
Just the room.
The Greeks love a good closet in the wall, so there was tons of storage. Things like that were not the issue. The living room. Let's start there because there was a lot of problems.
So the living room maybe was. I would honestly say I would say like 6 by maybe 10 or 6 by 8 feet. Like that's how small of a space we were operating.
And if you guys see the couch, because I'm gonna insert a video here of how this space actually looked. It wasn't. It was more of a chair,
a big chair that will convert if you could actually lay it down and
convert to a Now for a single person or a couple, perfect. You know, size-wise. We gotta tell y'all where I was really perfect. But size-wise, perfect, you know. But for a family of 4 with 2 girls who are running, you know, wanting to play.
Not enough space for them to move.
Yeah, like I was painting at the kitchen table. Tamar was also working, either sitting on the ground or also at the kitchen table. The balcony though,
it was really nice.
Yes,
the only problem we had with the balcony itself was there was a little cutout. Like it would be it was the railing, a planter, and then the remainder of the railing. But between the planter and the other railing, there was this big gap that didn't.
And the girls could slide through there.
Yes.
Like we were just too paranoid to even let them just run out there on their own. And Sunny was constantly sticking her leg through there, just curious. You know, she was 1 at a time, so she just realized, oh, my leg could fit through here. And we just had way too much anxiety about it. Another thing was, the place was listed as having AC. Now, if we had known the place didn't have AC, we could have mentally prepared for the magnitude. Yes, we could. At $400 a month, babe, we could have prepared. We could have prepared because we didn't find anywhere else around that price point at peak. It's peak tourism time, you know. So it was around Smock's birthday, so July, hot, and everywhere is booked. So that was one of our only.
My literal thing to read at the end of the first month, because we had sweat so much. It had been so hot in there. We had to literally let the doors down. Yeah. Because the sun would come into the house, and at the peak of the day, if the door was up and the sun was coming in, it would heat up this spot on the floor, and then that would radiate throughout the house.
Like we literally were like, we got to get up early in the morning to do whatever we have to do, make breakfast, because in the afternoon we have to sit still because we were baking, y'all. We were boiling like boiled eggs, okay? And when we had reached out to the landlord, he was like, oh, he meant the fan. He didn't mean at the AC.
No, that wasn't what we did. Our tutor came over. Our tutor came over earlier in the day, and she was sneezing and coughing, and she was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's probably the AC, and then pointed at the fan. And I was like,
we were like, oh, like, yeah, no. So there was no air conditioning, we baked. And so because there was no air conditioning, we constantly left the doors open, which is something we do in every place that we are. But I don't know if it was the season.
Or just where we were.
I don't know if it was I'm not really sure. We got ate alive all summer.
Terrible mosquitoes. It took us halfway through the second month to realize we needed a specific, because we tried the Central candles, that didn't work. We ended up going with the
spiral thing,
that actually did work. So we would have to light them during the day whenever we had the doors up, and then we would light them again before we went to bed, so that it would keep the mosquitoes down during the nighttime.
And then we couldn't wear any clothes because it was so hot. So like I would just wear a scarf as a dress. Tamar would just wear underwear, and the girls were just in diapers. And Luna is allergic to mosquitoes. They always swell up and just get super welty, super huge. And so we had to really give them a bath to cool them down at the end of the day, and then we'd have to drench them and rub them down in off before they went to bed. The good thing about the off here is it doesn't have that horrible funky smell like the one in the US. It kind of smells like lotion. Like it doesn't have a permeating smell. So we would just rub even on their faces, because their faces were constantly getting ate alive.
If we sprayed all their body, the mosquitoes would literally go to one place.
Yes, the one place. So we had to do their neck, their face, everything. So those were the issues with that place. It was too small. There was an elevator. We never got to meet our neighbors. But oh no, we did. We got to. I met our neighbor in the back.
She wasn't in the same building as us.
Yeah, she was in another
building. Where our
balconies
went, our balcony was here, and her balcony from her building was over here.
Yeah, so we met her, but someone had dropped off like a coloring book and things for the girls, and that's just nice. You know, people in Greece are just like that. Like they may not always speak or they may not always approach, but we know that they're just nice. They're just family oriented people.
And I would say, I think that they may not approach as much is because they don't speak much English.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of them don't speak much English. And
because today, these two ladies was really trying to talk to us, and they would have chopped it up if we would have been able to speak more Greek. But you know, we're learning, they're learning. So they were just like beautiful girls, you know, like you know, can't really say much after that because you know it was very minimal banter. You know, they say, you know, that they're beautiful. We say thank you. They say where are you from? We say Ameriki, and that's pretty much the end of the conversation right now. But we are learning. We're learning more Greek. But yeah, so it wasn't the neighborhood. The neighborhood was perfect.
yes,
The neighborhood was perfect. It was right across the street from a park. Walkable. The street that we were on was very big. We never had an issue with like our stroller. We never had to be in the street. It was sidewalks. It was just it. There was a coffee shop like right down the way. Tamara used to walk there all the time. We made it like a family thing to kind of just like walk with the girls through the park. Like it was just a vibe.
and
like,
that's also when we made our first discovery of Leki.
Yeah.
Leki. What is it, Leki Agora, which just means public market, and that's the
People's market.
People's market.
Yeah.
And that is the farmer's market.
Yeah,
And
but we loved the area. It was just the apartment. The apartment was just not a perfect fit. Now, if you're a couple and you don't mind, you know,
if you
the
come
heat,
during non-peak heat,
Yeah.
because that was also during the time when there was a worldwide heat wave.
yeah,
And it was temperature getting
So it was
hot
like
as hell.
abnormally hot.
Yeah.
Greece is already hot, but it was abnormally hot during that part of the year. And yeah, but those are the reasons why we left that apartment. So then, after we left that apartment, we were like, okay, we need to be closer to the airport. So we booked a space in Sparta. We got
right down,
to the
not maybe
less than 5 minutes from the airport. Amazing location, especially for us because we do a lot of traveling normally, so we're always hopping in and out, and being so close was perfect, especially when we thought of like our family visiting and everything. It was great. Also, something to note is like, you know, graffiti, street art, those types of things.
It's more within the city.
Yeah, it's within the city, and we know that if our family were to come and visit and saw like where we were living before, they'll be like, damn, why is all this graffiti on the walls, whatever. But it's not necessarily an indication that it's a bad neighborhood like it is in the U.S. So we liked that space was suitable for our families to come and visit us and know that we were
Not
safe.
far from the airport.
Yeah, we're close, we're in a nice area, you know, and it was just beautiful, huge.
There was also a shopping outlet mall.
Yeah.
Right under the hill. So it was maybe, if I walked by myself, it was honestly like a 5-minute walk.
And there's a playground there and everything too. So the things we loved about our apartment in Sparta was the space. I think our apartment was like 110 to 120 square meters, ginormous compared to the second place. Similar size to the first place, but we had a beautiful balcony in Sparta. You could see the mountains. Of course, I'm inserting videos right here. The living room was huge. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, beautiful kitchen.
Had a swimming pool.
Had a swimming pool. The people who lived downstairs, we lived with the family of they lived downstairs and we lived upstairs. So it's like, I think it was 3 units all around. They were so kind, like, you know, it was just beautiful.
Their kids were there for the summer, her grandkids were there for the summer, so they played with Sunny and Lou.
Yeah, it was just really nice. Like, you know, we could walk to the plaza and get our groceries and things. And yeah, the space, pristine, how everything looked amazing. Our renters, our landlords, amazing. The issue was there was no farmer's market.
And we didn't figure that out until we came back this last time.
Yeah, so what happened was Kostas, which is the son of our because Savas, I think that's her brother. So the brother of our actual landlord came to the house one day because they were bringing in a new TV. And so we talking to him and we like, oh, where's the farmer's market at? And he was like, it's not walkable. Like, you're gonna need a car or you're gonna need something. So it was like, okay, we can take a taxi there. He was like, no taxis is probably gonna take you where the farmer's market is just to go to the farmer's market. And so we found that kind of odd because we like, we take taxis literally all the time. But we also didn't know exactly where it was. And he couldn't really like direct, he was just like, oh, it's down that way. But it's like, where that way, you know? So we were like, okay, we'll just use the supermarket. But the price difference in our produce and our groceries, we didn't save anything like this time around. Well, we saved more than in the US, but not to the point where we were spending $30 on fruits, vegetables, and all those things. In Central Athens here, we're still gonna have to go to the mini market to get like our meat or our, you know, those types, or we still get rice and all that stuff.
You can get all your produce, all your grain, any additional like nuts and stuff like that. They even had candy vendors, like fish, like all that was in the farmers market. There are actually people who sell toilet paper and paper towel. Like they sell clothes at the farmers market. They sell linens. They sell pillows. There's a lot of things at the farmers market, and the cost difference between that and going into like a traditional store is insane.
Yeah.
Like we did a haul when we were in Sparta, saying, we spent $100 on groceries. Look at everything we got. Now compared to the U.S., still
amazing,
great,
yes,
wonderful for everything that we.
But
have.
we got. For what we got, for that $100, we got for $20
here
at Likey. So it was incomparable. We're not doing what we want to do with our finances by living in Sparta.
So also, it is 30 minutes from Athens to get to Sparta.
Yeah, so we were coming to Athens regularly because we at work. First of all, I'm here looking for galleries to get my work into. So we constantly had to frequent that area. Working in Sparta, opening up a gallery in Sparta is not even it's not wise. Because no one's gonna come. It's not a walkable area where somebody would be like, oh, let me just walk into this gallery and see what's in here. When it came to socializing, people definitely knew we were not from that area, and it was an older kind of vibe over there. So yeah, there wasn't a lot of that.
So one of the people said that Sparta just recently became,
it started getting developed.
It is. And at first it was just like farmlands and grasslands.
And we
you
can see that,
because there are several shepherds that are like, one was down the hill from us, and then there's also the zoo that's literally we walked to.
Which was also another positive, because our kids love the zoo and we love the zoo, and so it was just something fun to do that was walking distance. I liked our yard. They constantly went outside and played. That's the only reason why I was considering like finding somewhere that was on the ground floor if it had a space in the front. But I'm like, if there's a park nearby, we just go to the park. Like, we really love the idea of having a balcony, and the views were absolutely impeccable.
It's Sparta,
yeah, but the food prices and costs and how frequent we were doing our grocery shopping
also
was not a thing.
Outside of the food cost, the food variety.
Yeah.
There was mainly, like, we love Greek food, but it was mainly Slovaki, pizza, and really that was
and that's
kind of
it.
the thing.
Like, we love the pastas, and we love the rice dishes, and we love those things, and we love to eat them at an affordable cost. And those things were way more expensive in Sparta than they are here. Another thing to note is, like, when it comes to our grocery shopping, like, we work from home with our kids all day. So we'll usually like go out in the morning, then we'll come home and spend the evening at home, and we snack. And when we snack in Greece, that means fruits and vegetables. When you're eating up all your fruits and vegetables all day, and you're spending $100, on your groceries and things, they run out quickly. And so we found ourselves having to constantly read up on stuff versus being able to just go to the farmer's market and be like, we buying all of this stuff right now, so we have enough apples, pears, the plums, all the things to last us till, until next week. But we will read up on our fruits and stuff. It just wasn't good with our finances staying so far, and having to also frequent to Athens, especially for work.
Internet connection.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh.
The internet connection out there, we were getting like 1.5 megabits per second or so, which is relatively slow. That's pretty slow. Like, if you wanted to upload a TikTok video, a 1 minute TikTok video, it can take your phone up to 30 minutes to actually upload it. However, if you were in the city, like the first place that we stayed when we came back, blazing fast.
Yeah, when we went to Dionysi's place, it was amazing. His balcony was amazing as well.
His views, right?
The size of the apartment was great. We were like, oh yeah, this is along the lines of what we wanted. So those three places, y'all, they all had things that we loved and things that we didn't like. But in every place, there were deal breakers. Yeah. And we have children. We need to make sure that if we're gonna do daycare, or even if we wanted to find a babysitter, you guys, the babysitters were not coming to Sparta because it was too far. And the ones that we did find weren't available. Yeah.
They were like right around the outside.
And so if you didn't have a car, we would like our babysitter we would like to be able to pay for transportation costs too for someone who's going to come and watch our children. And we could do that in Athens and really make it, a winning situation for both the babysitter and for us. But we couldn't find those things in Sparta. It just wasn't, we were too out the way.
Way too out.
The location was everything. The apartment was amazing. If I could pick that same apartment up and bring it to Peristeri or bring it to Kypseli, I would stay there. So now we can get into like where we're looking at staying, because we have done a Greek tour. We have been everywhere in the what I would say is the greater Athens area. We've been to Galazzi, we've been to Peristeri, we've been to Poligono, we've been to Elenico, we've been to...
Did you say Kipseli?
We've been to Kipseli. We've been to and we've been to more neighborhoods than that. That's just the places that we can name right now. Based on our Airbnbs, we have been to 10 different neighborhoods. And now we're just at the point where we're like, okay, where do we want to be? And so that brings us to this area that we're in right now.
Which is the second time we've been here.
Yes, but we were on the other side of Kipseli.
And so first thing you notice when you get to, and particularly the part that we were staying the first time, is that there are a lot more people of color there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, so
whether it be Indian, whether it be African, some darker looking Armenian people, it's some way more diverse. And I know that a lot of people, when they talk about Kipseli, they talk about the fact that it's up and coming. I really feel like that is because it's an area where there are both Greeks and a lot of refugees. And so they're opening up businesses and they're creating a community. And so you can tell it's still in the building. It's still in the building up phase. But it looks like it is a developing area.
The second time we came around, we're literally like, if we were here the last time, we were over here this time. And we just walked. First of all, the Airbnb we stayed in this time was the one we're currently in. The Likey was literally right outside.
Yeah.
Like, we opened, I remember waking up Tuesday morning, it's like, man, there's a lot of noise going on out there. And then I just hear this humming like the entire morning. I'm like, that sounds like a generator.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if the farmer's market is out here. And then I open up the doors and like,
the fish is right there, like right below us, literally. Like we couldn't even get out the door with our wagon because of how close it was, like literally on the same block. That's amazing. Like we want to be near we have to be near a farmer's market. It doesn't have to be on the same block, but it has to be in the area. And another thing is like, this just seems more of a family neighborhood, a younger family. We see a lot of kids around here. We hear a lot of kids around here. Sparta, we did not hear a lot of kids. Unless you went to,
honestly, you wouldn't hear anybody.
Yeah.
Very rarely you would even see a ambulance or I don't think.
And when there was an ambulance, everybody came out. Also, it's so quiet that you can hear the animals at the zoo.
It's also
from your house.
You can smell the animals that do a certain like, periods you can smell.
Like there was a part of this year where it was very windy here, and so it was blowing. It was extreme winds, you guys. Like, I felt like I was gonna get blown off the balcony.
I like we were in the mountains.
Yeah.
Like just a little bit.
And because there's not a lot of buildings around, the wind is not hitting the other buildings. It's just it's a lot of open space, so the wind was super crazy, and I think that is what was bringing the smell of the zoo like over to us. But like that wasn't a deal breaker. I really didn't care about that. It's really the location. Location is everything. But this area seems very nice. We took a walk today. I'll also include some clips right here. There was a butcher shop. There was a fish space. It was a ton of greenery around. It was a
plenty of coffee
area.
shops. That's we love coffee shops.
Yeah. And we like Greek-owned small coffee shops. We prefer that versus like what seems like
Everest or like even a Mikhail's. Like we like these places. They're still good coffee.
Yeah.
But we
come in here to put our money back into Greek pockets mainly. Like we don't really want to feel like we're back in the U.S. where you can't get coffee if you're not at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Like we're not really trying to sow into those types of businesses on a regular basis. Also, the coffee is going to be cheaper when you're going to a neighborhood.
You would go to Mikhail's, get a Ferrero cappuccino, and spend maybe $2.20, $2.30. You go to an actual coffee shop or even a bakery, you get it for like $1.20.
Yeah. Someone else also had commented on one of the videos that we shouldn't give the girls those like cheese puffs. We prefer not to give them those type of snacks, y'all. But we couldn't afford to get. We couldn't really afford to like get mad snacks within our shopping budget.
You should see how much fruit they have eaten since Tuesday.
Yeah,
because
they eat fruit all day. Like they eat it all day long, and that's a good snack. Like that's something good to get to eat it before bedtime. When they wake up, they have their cheese pie, they have a fruit, and then they have something to drink, some water, and go about their business. Like that's the type of lifestyle that we want. So we came here to be healthier. We also Gostas also said that the food quality at that big supermarket was not that of the...
He literally told us we were eating plastic.
Yeah. So...
And we were still like, This tastes better.
Yeah. There's still no wax on the apples. There's still leaves when you go get the oranges. Like, it was still giving higher quality than what it is
Every
in the
fruit
US.
looks different.
Yeah. Yes, and they don't throw out the ugly fruits. It don't matter if it's ugly. Somebody's gonna buy it. The good thing about that though, we started buying like the spanakopita that you could just pop in the oven.
Yeah.
Those type of conveniences were great because they had an array of like frozen options that you can have like when you needed quick stuff, which is good to have in the house when you have kids, especially because you don't want to have to buy breakfast every single morning. So like that was good to have that. We don't know how to make spanakopita yet, so like that was good to just have it to put in the oven.
It would even be while other Greeks are shopping, we'd be like,
yeah,
have this freaking sandwich meat thing that's like sandwich the meat and the cheese, and all you gotta do is get your bread and the condiments.
Yeah, we love that. Like with cold cuts have it in the house. Like that stuff was convenient. It was right there to get. But either way, it was more expensive being in Sparta. Yeah. But now we are looking at main place. Polygonal and Kypseli are our places that we are looking at. We're not looking at any other neighborhoods for real. Someone recommended that we stay in Gizi, and I think that it's up high on a hill because we don't have a car, because we do a lot of walking. I just feel like it would be better if we're closer to flatter. And Galati is just too far. Elenico is too far.
And what's funny is, like, one of the Greek people when we first came out, I was living in Polygonal when we first came out last year with the kids. They were like, yeah, just ask somebody. And we were just like, I'm not just gonna ask some random person, is there someone who got a place for rent? But then it really turns out that that's probably the best thing for you to find an apartment.
Yeah, and like people do, like when you really start to talk to people, like I'm actually building a network of Greeks who we are able to meet, like through social media, really. And then when we go out, like, or when we book Airbnbs, we meet people, like we met Dionysus, who is someone who I'm trying to get my work into his gallery space. We didn't even know that he owned a gallery until we booked his Airbnb and created conversation. So we've been able to like build, and the Greeks have been more than open to like speaking to us and, you know, like helping us out.
We even met a lady who had moved out here a few years, like quite a few years ago. She's from America. Her name is Helen, and she
a wealth of knowledge.
From one happenstance encounter. We were literally, it's so crazy. So we were leaving from Kypseli, going to, I can't remember where it was. We were going to Galati. And first of all, Google said that it was going to be like a 15-20 minute walk tops. I don't even think it said mostly flat. It couldn't have said mostly flat because it wasn't. Yeah. It was, first of all, it was hill after hill after hill.
Yeah, we hiked a lot of that. There was a point where we were walking straight up. Yes. Like it was like this was the incline. Like there was barely a
people were looking out on our balcony
and laughing because we were pushing that wagon up that freaking hill.
And they even took us to like a set of stairs, y'all, that was tall, a tall set of stairs, which we're pushing the cart. So that means that somebody's got to take the kids up, the other person's got to drag the cart up. And then we were still too early for our Airbnb to check us in, and we just decided to sit at this amazing Greek restaurant.
We went there like 3 times.
Yeah.
We went there like I'm going to do a review on our TikTok, and then I'm going to also put the review on our YouTube short. So look out for that and remind me in the comments if I forget, because I definitely want to do like a food tour thing of all the great places that we've been able to go. I mean, we even went to was it a Cambodian restaurant or
Vietnamese?
It was a Vietnamese restaurant.
That food was mad. I had never had pad thai a day in my life, and that was the first time I did it. And
yeah, really good. Yeah, you guys, it's gonna take us a little second to really settle for real. I mean,
we have narrowed down the areas. Yeah. I want to, because we have a couple of realtors that we're working with, and me personally, I want to live somewhere around this particular street that we're on. The street isn't mad long. And honestly, and what I've noticed in Greece, if you're on a street in that hit or intersection, the street across from that isn't the same street name as the street you just. So even if you walk across the street, it's a different street name. Yeah. So I want to give them the street name and just be like this area, or what is it called? It's the Kypseli Municipal Market, or somewhere near that. That's kind of I think you're gonna show the clip where it's all of the corner stores, the coffee shops, butcher shops, seafood shops. What do they call fish places?
I'm not sure.
Fish market. fish markets.
It was just a lot of families out there, y'all. It was very, if people were just kind of sitting around, I love that. Because we do that a lot. We just go outside and we just sit out there. And we want to socialize and we want to do play dates and those types of things. And we couldn't do that in Sparta because there was nobody really around. So yeah, but we're fighting our way. Our advice for someone who is trying to move to Greece or elsewhere, be patient with the process. If you do have a following, you know, they see everything in small, you guys see everything in small spurts, but it takes time. It takes time to get all this information to you guys, to sit down and record these videos because we are acclimating.
This is I think our first video and we've been here for like 3 months.
Yeah, we've been here for a hot minute. And yeah, it's gonna take us a little second. We know that it looks like a tiring process, and it does get tiring because going back and forth between Sparta and in Athens, it was kind of like we were moving every freaking week. Like even packing up all the girls' stuff to go and do a weekend trip, it was just taking so much energy.
I'm sorry.
It was just taking so much energy, and like, you know, our friend here, George, who commented, was like, you know, it just looks like a tiring thing. It is tiring. It is, but it's also giving us the opportunity to get to learn, like, about Athens. We are really learning. We even be like, oh, we don't even need Google Maps, like, to get where we're going, and that's what we want to get. You know, we want to feel like we live here. We don't want to feel like visitors. So.
Which, if y'all know anything about Rish, she is directionally challenged. She never knows where she's at. So when she was like, oh, I think this is near the first place we stayed in Cape Sailor, I was like,
yeah. And I was right.
Yeah.
And I was right, okay? Yeah, I'm a landmark girly. He's definitely more of like a street sign type of guy. Like, street signs, but it's near that.
That's so
it's
funny.
Over there near that, that area.
She'd be like, you're at exit 23. And I'd be like, what? And I'm like, oh, you mean exit Terrence, you mean Terrence Boulevard, or you know what I'm saying, whatever. And the other thing is, like, we leveraged Airbnb very heavily while we were here, exclusively, honestly, until we actually find the apartment that we're going to stay in. So you can haggle it. Well, it's not even haggling.
Yeah, it's not haggling. It's negotiating, and you can negotiate when you know the base price in the area. That's another thing I want to stress. Like, it's not, you're not gonna be like, oh, why are you charging me so much? No, you don't do
because that. It's not even necessarily haggling, because they're not getting all that money. First of all, when you get with somebody on Airbnb or whatever, they'll have to charge whatever Airbnb is. But once you get to talking with them and everything, you can actually pay them directly. And that's why you don't have to pay as much, because you're not paying the overhead for Airbnb.
Yeah, Airbnb takes fees out, from them. Then they have to pay a tax to list their place on Airbnb, and then all your utilities and things are included, and they don't know how much you're going to use and all these things. So it's just more affordable when you are actually like, okay, I found this place on Airbnb, but I'm interested in a long-term booking, and you can go from there. The realtor that I found them on. I found one realtor through Etsy.gr, which is
a very big site here.
Yeah, and the other one was Spitatos. I'll put the name here. But that's what we found, our realtor that actually showed us the first place that we went to go look at.
Which I liked it a lot. I like the area. I
wasn't crazy about the area. I'm not even gonna hold.
But she did say she wanted to go back and see how she felt.
Yes, because I need to go back, and I wasn't crazy about the kitchen either.
And from our balcony, you're actually able to see, like our bedroom balcony, you're able to see the stadium there where they were playing football games and stuff. And then even though there was an office, we could literally convert. There's like a walkway when you first walk through the door to then get to the living room, but it's big enough for where we can put a desk there, and that could be
a little office space. Yeah, I just wanted a more open floor plan.
Yeah, it was pretty closed off.
It was like different room. The living room is completely separate. I like that in our Sparta apartment, it's open. The living room and the kitchen is like one, cool suite. And then if we could find a 3-bedroom, that would be ideal, but I know that that's like not as common as the 2-bedroom spots here. I'm also not even, I don't have any objections to getting an older Greek space. I loved our first big apartment that we got.
Honestly, the older the space, the bigger it's probably.
Yeah, and the more soundproof it be. You can't hear nothing beneath you, above you. Like the walls are solid. You just can't hear anything. And guys, that's it. This is a journey.
It's called Life as an Adventure to mine. So.
don't forget that life is an adventure, and you can only plan so much. We've planned as far as we can plan. Now, like, God is just taking us through the motions of finding our spot, finding where we're gonna be for at least the next 2 years. We do plan on going to Thessaloniki soon, and I know somebody's gonna fall in love with it and be like, well, maybe we should do it. So I think
the time frames that we be having, like this time we have to go back because we have a show coming up in Cali. Don't forget to get your tickets for that.
Get your tickets. Make sure you guys support us, support my mission. You can find a link for that in our description. You know, support you guys. We're getting tampons, pads. We're getting art supplies to multiple countries, multiple different places in Greece, the United States, everywhere that I'll be touring the art, we are going to give something. So make sure that you guys support us. You can donate anything. You could donate $2, $5, $10. You can purchase something from my store. All portions, all of the donations are going to our mission.
And
but
portions
of what you purchase at the store, and if you come to the show in California, a portion of that is also going towards the mission. Like, we're, you know, thank God that, you know, we don't want for anything and that we're in the position to actually help people, but we're gonna need help helping people. So thank y'all so much in advance. And yeah, I think that's it. That's all for now. You guys are gonna get way more vlogs. We lost our camera. I told you guys that on the last vlog, but we got it back. And so yeah, it's just finding the time to edit it. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok at headwraps.com to see daily vlogs. I try to get them all on YouTube Shorts, but you know, I'm only one person. Tomorrow, he don't be editing, so.
I know.
So yeah, like he be in the vlogs, you know, you guys see him all the time, but he's not really like the social media guy. But he has been doing some
Greek lessons.
Yeah, he's learning a lot of Greek, and so he's telling you guys everything that he's learned along the way on his own TikTok. So yeah, be sure you guys follow him as well. All that information is in our description. We love y'all. Don't forget that life is an adventure, and I think that this video is already going to be super long, so we'll just end it here. Love you guys. Peace.